Why do I say that books you use for nonfiction, meaning like fact learning, should be below your child's reading level? I'm Jacqueline. This is Homeschool Hangout.xyz, where I make videos to help you homeschool your children, especially in the state of California, with peace, calm, and clarity. And if you like these kinds of videos, do me a favor, thumbs up, like, subscribe, all the things. So one of the gongs I tend to bang on about is having your children read a variety of things, very important, but not every opportunity do you need to be reading at grade level or above to stretch your child, especially when you're having them read non-fiction, true books that have facts in them. And so today I pulled out a couple books that I like. I got these from the library because that's where we check them out when we use them, to talk about why. I'm going to start with this one. This series is phenomenal. This is the You Wouldn't Want to Be Cleopatra, an Egyptian ruler you'd rather not be. There's a bunch of wouldn't want to be blank. It's a series. It's a good series. But when you look at it, you go, it looks a little comic booky, looks a little young, right? It's very colorful, big illustrations. It's a thin book. It's not a thick book. But it has a wealth of knowledge in it. And when I say that, I'm not just saying, oh, don't worry, they're still learning. No, I mean on the other side. Right here, we're talking about Egypt. So we're going to know the gods and goddesses. And let me just tell you real quick, here we're going to learn about Ra, Osiris, Isis, Anubis, Horus, and Thoth are the list of the gods. Then they compare them with other gods. So, and so we've got little illustrations here. Greek, Zeus is the king of the gods. Ra, in Egypt, is the king of the gods. And it goes through and talks about who the wives and head gods are in each one of those. Well, in this one page then, you're learning multiple gods' names, some of what they stand for, and how they compare to other ones. That is a lot of fact to hope a child retains. Okay? Remember, you're teaching them about things they don't know about already, so that is the challenge. It doesn't need to be the reading. Party time. This looks like a great, fun little page, right? You go, it doesn't have a ton of text. It has more than many. And it goes through, Anthony is 14 years older than you and spent most of his life in the Army. However, you both enjoy good things in life. And it talks about parties and stuff. And it goes through how to throw a good party. And it goes through what a good party was in Egypt. And that tells you a lot of things. You know, it talks about, at one of your feasts, Roman officials dress up as a sea god to entertain others. They use perfume at their parties. It's food. What do they drink? Because we're specifically speaking about Cleopatra, and that's that meeting of Egyptian and Roman culture. In 40 BCE, Anthony has to return to Rome because of an argument with Octavian. And he's away for 4 years. While he's gone, you give birth, because you're Cleopatra, to twins, a boy and a girl. When he returns, you get married. This is a lot of dense fact that is on page after page, but it's presented in a lower level reading comprehension, meaning I would say that this is probably a 4th or 5th grade book, but at the same time, I've talked to high school students who don't remember this much. Now, I'm not necessarily saying you need to get this to your high school students, but I'm saying have some grace on that. Not everything has to be a challenge and a fight. If you want them to learn about Cleopatra, make it attainable. And this goes for so many other things. I think I already took it out of here. Yeah, I had a book that was the ABCs of the Australian Reef, I think it was. And I got it because I thought it was going to be more of a picture book. It wasn't. It literally went through every letter of the alphabet and had a little paragraph on what those items were. And if your kid were to retain a quarter of that, they would have learned so much more than the standard textbooks that we saw when we were in school and you read a short chapter out of that book. And that is the other thing to remind yourself of is, you go, but this isn't a textbook. Is it really going to teach them a lot? Well, those textbooks, your chapter might be 5 pages. And then your teacher would lecture on it. You can actually, so here's another one. This is Perspectives on History. And I actually view this as a little bit older than the other books because it's not as eye-catching. And the Perspective on History is lots of things. But look at how thin that is. Yeah. This literally, counting the index, has 32 pages. right? So let me find you a good page. Well, let's go with this when you say, now this is a good book for them to sit and read, whereas the other one, you could almost have them taking notes on it. And they'll sit and read it too. But here we are. This picture is Cleopatra and Antony in Egypt. And you're going to learn on this page, that's just one page, that Antony was defeated in Partha in late 36 BC. Then he returned to Egypt with Cleopatra. He had sent Octavian false reports of the victories. While he was hiding in Egypt, she made sure of her own strength as a ruler, talking about in the winter the alliances she made, including with the king of Medea, and they were going to combine forces against the Parthians. Then talking about these treaties, and let's see, talking about him going and capturing the king of Armenia. I didn't know that Antony went to Armenia without this, or Antony. I'm always going to call him Anthony, sorry. Antony went and did that in Armenia. Partha I knew, Armenia I didn't. And then he came back, and in Egypt there was a big parade and spoils. Romans were upset that the triumphs was celebrated in Egypt instead of Rome. Romans believed that, Cleopatra was controlling him. Octavia decided to build on this anger against Antony and talking about what he found what he said was Antony's will. The will revealed that Antony wanted to be buried in Alexandria, and evidence that he wanted to move Rome's capital there. That's why they didn't want to leave Antony the head of Rome. That is one page. You're an adult who went through school. Did you know all that? Right. So if they read 30 pages of information like that and hold on to some of it, that would be great. If they could hold on to all of it, that'd be amazing. But this is why I say you can totally and should go a little under their grade level reading so that the information is the challenge and not the getting through super dense, complicated ways of saying stuff. If you take the same thing and you go read a adult level, or what I would consider even like a high school, college level book on Cleopatra, they may be talking about the themes of the wills and the feelings of the people and the plotting and the planning, and they're going to be burying the facts because it's at a higher reading comprehension. They figure you'll pull it out yourself. This is a great way for kids to learn facts. And then seriously, if you're looking for some activities to do with these, read them. Have your kid tell you overall what they learned. Great. But then also have him or her write you a list of characters. Tell me, treat it like a story. Tell me the people they mentioned and a little bit about the people they mentioned. The nice thing about this one that I really like is, I'm going to the back. This is the inside cover. So that's what I mean when I say there's information everywhere. And they've got the breakdown on the gods here, which is kind of cool. You got an index. I believe you even have, you have a glossary in here. And it's just a 2-page glossary, but you have a glossary. So have them write you a cast of characters and something about each one of those characters. Have them find 5 dates in the book and what happened on those dates. Have them write down the locations that they talked about, because while Cleopatra was in Egypt, she also made treaties with neighbors. He went to Armenia. What happened in Partha? What happened in Rome? And you can have them write more on each one of those subjects. You can do an entire unit on Cleopatra with these 2 books. And they will get a great week of education, 2 weeks of education. So do not feel like every book they read has to be a challenge for them to get through. Make it fun. Make it interesting. Let them take notes when they read it. Whatever it takes to get them to take in the facts to be a more educated and enlightened person. Okay, my little soapbox is getting put away for the day. I hope you guys all have a great day. If you're looking for books, if you're looking for series like these, do me a favor, let me know. And feel free to join my Facebook group. If I've helped you out and you want to do something special, you can buy me a coffee down below. You can also find some of my templates and videos over there that are like walking through forms and stuff. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.